Welcome to Chalkboard Chat. I am Dr. Tara Wyran. Today, I have with me Corinne Allen, a student who is a member on the MPB Student Council. Today, Corinne and I will chat about something that's near and dear to her heart, cheerleading. Welcome to the podcast, Corinne. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
I'm so happy to have you on with me to learn more about cheering. So, before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Corinne Allen, and I am a freshman at Mendenhall High School, and I live in Mendenhall, Mississippi.
Cool. So, we'll dive right in, and you tell me why you decided to be a cheerleader. Who or what was your inspiration?
Well, both my mom and my sister were cheerleaders, so just being around it growing up, it seemed really fun. And then just seeing how cheerleaders work together on their team to put stunts up and work the crowd and stuff, it just looked fun. So I decided I wanted to do it.
It does look like a lot of fun, something that I would aspire to do, but probably never could do all that twirling and jumping, but looks like a lot of fun. So what are the requirements to become a cheerleader?
Well, besides being somewhat flexible and just being able to be stiff and sharp, you also have to be a very big people person, being able to just be preppy and happy all the time, because that's kind of your job, is to lead the school into being good people. You should really be able to just be able to talk to people, because especially little kids, because a lot of little kids kind of aspire to be cheerleaders. Just being just a happy person and being able to be there for others.
Those are some very unique qualities. And, I think a lot of people may look on and say, oh, they're just having a good time. They're twirling, they're jumping, but there's a lot more to it. I hear you. Tell me about your time as a cheerleader then, so far.
Well, this school year has actually only been my second year cheering, but the time that I have cheered, it's given me a way to connect with a group of girls that are a lot like me, and just giving me an outlet to, if I'm ever feeling down, just being able to go and learn dances and hang out with my friends even when there's other stuff going on. And it's also really fun to just see the impact that we make on crowds at football games. It seems like if we're not there, we're not doing anything, the crowd's not doing anything. But as soon as we'll start cheering, then everybody else is up and happy and excited.
Wow. So you have a very important job at the football games. Now, is there other type of cheering outside of football games? Is competition? Is it the same as what you do at the football games?
Well, cheer competition is it's different. There are different kinds of cheer competitions. There's extreme, there's just game day. It all depends on kind of what you are prepared for and what your team does.
Okay. What are the pros and cons, you would say, of being a cheerleader?
Well, the pros, like I said, just meeting new people, especially over the summer when you go to cheer camp and you get to stay at a college for the camp, and just meeting a whole bunch of new people from different schools and making a new network of friends. I would say being able to see everybody happy whenever you just come around. The whole room lights up when the cheer team walks in. I feel like the cons, I love cheer so much, it's kind of hard to think of any, but it would probably be the amount of stress it puts on your body, because putting people up in the stunts and being tight, it can hurt your arms and hurt your back and stuff. But other than that, there's really not that many, in my opinion.
But it is a commitment.
Yes, very big commitment.
Very big commitment. And I heard you say there are lots of people involved, you got to be friendly, you got to be sociable. Pick yourself up a lot, or be surrounded by friends that pick you up a lot. So talk about those emotions that are tied to cheering.
It all kind of depends. I know whenever we were getting ready for our competition, there was a lot of stress involved, because we were just well, I don't know how to do this move. So it'll get aggravating sometimes, because we'll go over it and over it, but it's only just because we want to make it better. When it comes to football games, when we win, it's an amazing feeling. When we lose, it's a terrible feeling. It's like an emotional roller coaster almost.
On game day and off game day, how do you get through those emotional feelings that you have?
You just kind of gotta take it step by step. Just tell yourself that it's going to be okay. We're going to get better. And then move on to the next pep rally or whatever else we'll have to do.
So I've seen a lot of cheerleading competitions, mainly on television. I've seen a couple in person. And the young ladies, they look very prepared. They prepared themselves, and it's seriously intense every time I've seen one of these. Talk a little bit about how you stay healthy and fit for your role on the team.
We do a lot of running, just small exercises, making sure, because our cheer routine has to be 3 minutes long, like all the way through, no breaks, no nothing. So you have to make sure your stamina is very like up and good. So we do a lot of running, just simple exercises to, make sure that we don't get tired out. But because we stunt and all that stuff, it's a little bit easier to stay in shape because it's so much lifting and moving around and jumping and all of that. So it's kind of easy to stay healthy, but at the same time, if you don't do it for a while, then you'll kind of lose track.
So there's some discipline on the field or on the grass, in the gym, and outside of the gym. I've heard that recently cheerleaders are considered to be athletes and that it is a sport. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Cheer is definitely a sport.
Okay, talk a little bit about that. How is it a sport?
Well, to me, a sport is anything that you could get hurt in. So that's just how I think about it. Cheerleaders especially, not many like activities do you have to pick people up and throw them and do jumps. So I think that cheer would probably is kind of as close as football a little bit because football players, they have offense and defense, so the offensive players get a little bit of a rest and then the defensive players go in. But cheer is just nonstop fight song, cheer, band dance, all of that stuff.
So what's the fight song?
Our fight song is whenever the football team scores and the band plays and we either sing it or do the dance.
Okay, gotta sing it.
Oh, okay.
Just go bellow it out.
Our Tigers are the best team the school has ever known. They won the reputation for the spirit they have shown. And then kick the football, yes. They turn in circles to show their might and strength. And they go home broken hearted, 'cause our Tigers can't be beat. Rah, 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 Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I love it. And so I'm sure that the crowd is all engaged and they know the fight song too, right?
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Wow. Now let's look at the academic side of this, okay? So I know anybody who's not performing in their classroom just can't walk on and be a cheerleader, can they?
Not at all.
So talk to me a little bit about what academic standards are you held to and have to maintain in order to be a part of the squad?
So you have to have a 75, I believe, or an above to be in any sport. That's like the Mississippi High School Association. That's the requirement. But I know at our school, the big saying is you're a student athlete. So like being a student comes first and then everything else comes second. So our coach, he strives to make sure that we have an B and above, which is an 80. So if we don't have the right grade or anything, then that could cause us to sit out of the pep rally or not be able to cheer during a game or anything. So there are a lot of standards that like we have to hold because we are leaders. And not only do we have to lead on the field, but also definitely in the classroom.
That's great. That's wonderful. And so I'm sure you hold your squad members accountable as well. You guys are supporting each other because everybody needs to be there to jump and flip and catch each other, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So what about college, the next level? Do you think you're going to cheer at the college level? You have a few years to think about it.
Well, I play a lot of different sports, so I would love to do any of them. But I think cheer would probably be the most fun just because it's the same and it's still meet new people and all that stuff. So it's the same, but it's just a bigger network of people and the uniforms look better and all of this stuff. So I would love to cheer in college.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. So if there were a little girl, or even guys these days are cheerleaders, right? What would you tell someone younger coming up that, as you mentioned earlier, you get little ones coming up to you talking about it, seeing it, they want to take pictures with you probably. They want to just kind of look at you close up and look at your pretty uniforms. What would you tell little ones about being a cheerleader?
I would say that it is a lot of fun, sometimes stressful, but mostly fun. But if you want to be a cheerleader, you have to be 100% committed to it because it is a lot of work. But that commitment to cheer can go a long way because it can help you in the classroom, just in your personal life, anything. So it's really worth being a cheerleader.
That's good advice or good suggestions. So now the last thing I'm going to have you to do for me, so I need you to get ready. I'm going to ask you to do a cheer. But this one last question. What have I not asked you that you think I should ask you about cheer and that you want to let everybody know about?
Kind of a hard one. I guess I would say, what does cheering do for me? Yeah, how cheering helps you out like in life.
How does it help you out in life?
It helps me with memorizing stuff because I have to memorize cheers and dances and all of that. So it helps me memorize stuff. It helps me be more outgoing because before I was a cheerleader, I would never talk to anybody. I just keep to myself. And it also just helps me give myself something to be proud of myself over because when a stunt does hit right or when my basket goes up and high or my jump is good, then I'm like, I'm proud of myself that I could do that.
Excellent. I think that would be good for anyone to know that it's not all fun, although it is fun, but it's helping to develop you as a person as well. Even the shyest person, it seems like they could come and get on the squad and work their way out of that somehow because they have a group of friends who are supporting them and they have to talk loud, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm ready for your cheer whenever you're ready.
I have to think of one. Okay.
I have my pom-pom if it helps you.
Okay. Okay. So it's our team won't take defeat. Rise up to victory. Our team won't take defeat. Victory. The Tigers who can't be beat. Yell it, the Tigers can't be beat.
Yay! Well, thank you so much, Corinne Allen. You've talked to us about your love for being a cheerleader and what all it takes. It takes teamwork, being sociable, being responsible, and being a supportive friend in a great network, not just in your school, but around the state and the country, going all over the place, meeting all these folks in different competitions. I think that's awesome. It's even more awesome to know that you are talking about how important you are as an element of game day, game night, and being on the field and off the field, and how the crowd, they're looking at you to be leaders. Thank you for sharing all that you've told us about, even the emotional and physical aspects of what goes into it. I think you've shared enough information here that someone who is thinking about being a cheerleader will certainly be able to make a good decision. So thank you, Corinne, for being a part of Chalkboard Chat Student Edition. I'm Tara Wren, and class is now dismissed.